Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this video we're going to talk about the Lucha Brothers. And in case you don't know or you may not have seen, as of the time of reporting, I guess it would be yesterday because technically by the time this gets edited it's going to fall into the next day, the Lucha Brothers, Penta L0M, aka Pentagon Jr., and Rey Fenix have signed with the WWE. Now, this has been rumored for a little while. There were questions about Fenix's contract, if he would get time added for injury, but it doesn't look like AEW has added to that. I want to give a shout out to @Cory Hayes 407 and @PWN Reports on Twitter, aka X. I'm going to put a link to both of those Twitter pages. Go follow them because that's where this report was broken from. With that being said, I haven't seen some of the bigger pages corroborate this yet. Nothing like a Sean Ross Sapp hasn't said anything that I've seen yet, or Meltzer, or any of those that you would normally see jumping in on this. But from what it looks, I mean, it looks pretty much legit. It's long been rumored. There's reports that they're going to go right to the main roster. There's reports that WWE is already working on merchandise, which includes masks. The following thing I'm about to say is going to sound like it's anti-AEW, but it's more of a kick in the ass of AEW. I'm personally a fan of all wrestling, whether it be WWE, AEW, New Japan, MLW, NWA, GCW, Defy, AAA, and all the other companies that are currently working. I just am a fan of wrestling. So this is going to sound anti-AEW, but it's more get your shit together AEW. And it's a long-term thing. There's long been complaints about the merchandising side of AEW, whereas for 5 years, basically, the Lucha Brothers have been signed to AEW, and we haven't got a Lucha Brothers mask. We don't have a Luchasaurus mask yet. Stuff that, as we've read on the reports for this, WWE's already making a mask for these guys. And while it's cool to have their action figures and t-shirts, which are probably the two biggest sellers, you look at somebody as a template like Rey Mysterio, who's probably the biggest comparison when you talk about a Lucha Libre star and how to market him. I guarantee you Rey Mysterio has sold more masks than almost any other product that's not a t-shirt. I mean, it's one of their biggest sellers over and over again. You see every Raw, every SmackDown, every premium live event, there's kids all over the crowd with Rey Mysterio masks on. And AEW could have had this. There's so many wrestlers under AEW contract that you could be marketing these masks for, whether it be Hologram, the Lucha Brothers when they were there, Luchasaurus or Killswitch, whatever you want to call them now, Gravity, the Beast Mortos. How cool would it be if they had a Beast Mortos Halloween mask that's kind of like what they would do with Kane in WWE, and they put out the rubber masks that were very similar. I have one of the rubber Kane masks. I actually used to have the very first really flimsy plastic Kane mask. I love Kane. Kane's one of my favorite characters of all time. My friend Joey, back in, I want to say 98 or 99, we went to a Monday Night Raw together, and he had went to go to the bathroom, I had thought, and he came back with the Kane mask for me, which was really awesome. Thank you, Joey. If you're watching this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It was really super cool, and I had it, but it was really flimsy, and moving through the years it broke and got destroyed. But it was cool, and that's what I'm saying. Like, why didn't AEW ever capitalize on this? Even a cheap little plastic mask like that, which I think was, I don't know, $9-10 back then, and you could even sell that now. Imagine selling 30 of them at a show. But I digress. That's not the main thing I'm talking about here. The merchandising is super smart. It's why the WWE is such a machine and keeps rolling and will keep rolling, like CM Punk said in the pipe bomb. It'll keep going despite itself because they just know what to do. The thing that's so important about this, and the reason why I wanted to make a video, normally I don't make videos on signings unless I consider it a big signing, and I do consider this a big signing. For two reasons. One, both tag team divisions in AEW and WWE are kind of lackluster right now. And that's no fault of the teams that are there. Both companies have fantastic teams. AEW has the Young Bucks, Grizzled Young Vets, Private Party, the Gun Brothers, the Acclaimed, FTR, all fantastic teams, and probably 10 others that I'm forgetting. WWE, same thing. They got New Day, they got the Authors of Pain, the Creed Brothers, the Street Profits, the Guerrillas of Destiny. I will continue to call them that, even though I don't think they're legally allowed to be called that. DIY. When you look at the NXT roster, they got Nathan Frazier and Axiom. I mean, there's great teams littered through the companies. The big reason I wanted to do this is because I honestly think the Lucha Brothers are going to step in the second they put their feet down in WWE. They're the best tag team in WWE right now. And that's not a knock to the New Day, who are a historically great tag team, or other really good teams there. Right now, at this time, this is the best tag team WWE has. And that's including the other team that's rumored to come in, the Motor City Machine Guns, which I hope they pair them up very shortly, because I'd love to see that match. I'd love to see the Lucha Brothers and the Creeds. I think that's going to be awesome too. And there's so many matches. DIY would be a great match with them. The Street Profits, Frazier and Axiom versus the Lucha Brothers would be insane. They would go crazy. The Machine Guns, of course, that would go insane. Even the Judgment Day team of JD McDonough and Finn Balor, that's going to be a great team if that's where they decide to go. This is a huge deal. This is getting not only a great tag team, but a team that, when they were in AEW, their solo careers weren't explored. I think you have two guys that could be high-level solo wrestlers within the team as well. Look back at Lucha Underground. Look back at AAA and how they were represented, both of these guys, and you can see these are top of the roster talent that the fans would get behind, especially Lucha Underground. And you can make an argument, maybe it's a different crowd, maybe there's a bit of a language barrier. Both of these guys speak English well enough to convey something. They may not be your typical main event guy, but your typical main event guy doesn't have the charisma of a Penta L0M or the aerial ability of a Rey Fenix. They're not typical in a lot of ways. It's kind of like they're the guys that would break the mold. And I know WWE has a lot of luchadors there, and the running joke is, I even seen someone with the Triple H where he's pointing to the LWO or Legado del Fantasma, which hopefully they don't get mired into that. But I think not only are you bringing a team that could be a great team, you're bringing in two guys that could be main event stars. I mean, think of a match with Phoenix versus Gunther. Penta versus CM Punk would be a great match. Penta versus Drew McIntyre. Phoenix versus Drew McIntyre. Either of these guys or both of these guys against Cody Rhodes. I mean, the matches are seemingly endless. These are two top-tier talents in pro wrestling. If we were talking about just talent-wise, charisma-wise, draw-wise, I would put these guys both in the top 20. They're that good. And I kind of think, again, no knock on AEW. I do like AEW as a product, so please don't come at me, AEW fans. I do think they were a little bit underused and underappreciated in AEW. I think that Penta should have at least been in a consideration for a world championship or a TNT title run. I think Rey Fenix had the international, or whatever the name of that championship is, this week. They changed it like 4 times already. But anyway, I know I'm getting a little bit rambly. I'm super excited to see this. I think this is going to be a big deal for WWE. This is going to revitalize their tag team division. This is going to make their tag team division feel more important than it's felt since the Usos and the New Day were going back and forth with each other with one of the great tag team feuds of all time. I'm so excited to see what they could do here. The change of scenery might be the great thing for them. It might be a boost to their career, or we may find out that maybe AEW is right. Maybe they're just smoke and mirrors. I don't think that's true. I watched enough of their careers to not think that, but we'll see going forward. I hope for the best for these guys. They're two guys I'm a big fan of. I already told my cousin today when I was at their house and talking about this for a little bit, I already told him I want a Pentagon mask right away. And it's something that I've wanted for a while. I wanted a Pentagon mask, but I just haven't ever pulled the trigger on it. It's going to be a lot easier now to get a decent quality one. Maybe not a show quality one like you can buy right now from like Republic of Lucha or any of the other sites that have them. But you'll get a serviceable one like the Rey Mysterio one. Like I got a kid's Rey Mysterio mask somewhere in here that would nowhere near fit my head. But it's kind of cool because I just like it. And I need to find a way to display that. But that's another story for another video. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think this is a big deal? Do you think this is going to reinvigorate the tag team division? Do you think they're going to be a flop? Do you think they're just going to be another middle-of-the-card team that doesn't do anything? Let me know what you think down here in the comments. While you're there, smash the like button, share the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff everybody says. As you can see, I'm super excited for this. I love the Lucha Brothers. I hope we get the best version of them in WWE. I hope they're allowed to break the glass ceiling. I'd love to see a feud with even Phoenix versus Cody Rhodes for the world title. I think that would be absolutely amazing. A Gunther and Penta feud would be all time in my opinion. They would put on some great physical, hard-hitting, just fantastic matches. But anyway, like I said, I am rambling a bit here. Shout out again to Cory Hayes 407 and PNW Reports. Again, the links for their Twitter, their X is going to be down here in the description, so please go subscribe to them. Without them, we don't have this information, so shout out to them. Shout out to you for watching this. Thank you for watching it this far. I do appreciate you very much. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and you've been watching Heel Heat.